Welcome to module number 6. Sadly, this is the last one, but we saved the best for last. We're talking about my favorite thing in the whole world, which is melody. Now, I said in an earlier module that we are blurring the line between being a lead guitar player and a rhythm guitar player. I thought I would bring some context to that. When I was in music school, one of the things that I remember as a great experience, something that really shaped my life to this point, to be honest with you, is I walked into a class where the goal of the class was essentially to know the melody and to know the chords of a song. And so you weren't just expected to be able to just strum or do the rhythm or, for that matter, just do the solo in the lead. You had to know both parts. And I remember I walked in one day feeling kind of big on myself, and I didn't know the melody that well, but it was the first day of the song. I thought I'll mail it in, it'll be okay. Well, the teacher stopped the class after I hacked it up, and I was so embarrassed, and he said, "Come with me," and we left the room. The class stopped. And he took me into this little room, and he showed me the melody. And he just walked me through it until I had it. It took about 10 minutes. And afterwards, he wasn't mad, but he was just very, very politely and very calmly, he just said, "Never, ever, ever go again without knowing the melody. Don't go another day without knowing the melody." And as a principal, I can say to you that that has guided my life to this point. As a professional guitar player, I do session work for artists. Maybe I go in the studio and track guitars for somebody, or maybe in a live concert I'm playing or performing. Knowing the melody might be the difference between the song feeling 70% comfortable and 95% comfortable. Because what is the melody? The melody is the part of the song that gets stuck in your head. It's the part that really makes the song the song. Go ahead, think about your favorite song right now. Chances are the chords are not your favorite part. The melody is probably the favorite part. It's probably the part that you wake up and it's stuck in your head and you can't get it out. So what I want to do is I want to show you in open tunings how we can learn the melody, how we can write our own melodies, and then how we can improvise melodically. So for this example, I'm going to split our lesson between open D and open G. Now the reason I'm going to do that is because everything that we play in open D, we can pretty easily move it over to dadgad, and everything in open G kind of lives in its own world. And so we're going to learn the same melody and the same concept in both tunings. The first concept is we're going to learn how to play the scale in a different part of the neck. Let's begin by looking at the 8th fret of the 3rd string. Now descending. Now all together, starting from the low octave. Great. Now that we have the scale mapped out, let's establish a principle. Whenever I'm playing an open D tuning, all of those notes can go with my chords or my bass notes. So for example, let's say I was playing something and I really had written a good melody that I liked. I'm going to give you an example melody now. Here it is one more time. And let's suppose that I wanted to play it over 2 different chords. The one chord, I could also play it with the 6 in the bass. Now, I love that melody, but I would like to play it over the 4 chord. That would be a pretty difficult stretch. So what I need to do is I need to find these notes. Here in a different area. Well, remember, I can bar across the 5th fret, and I can play the same notes here. Now let's do that with the bar. All together. Sounded pretty good, but to play the same exact part of a melody 3 times doesn't really work, so we need an ending. Here is one of my favorite things about open D tuning. If I just move up to the 5 chord, that's the last chord I want to play. If I just pick the notes of this chord, it will sound melodic. Why? Because I'm playing notes of the chord in a row, and all those notes belong to the scale. So it's as if I've chosen new notes to play. So it would sound like this. All I played was 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here's the whole melody. While I recognize that might not be the most sophisticated melody in the world, I composed that. I made that. That's mine. See, I have a 3-tiered framework that I think you should adopt, which is every guitar player should be growing in these 3 areas. Learning, so that's taking in new information. That's what you're doing today, by the way. Creating, that's composing, that's making something and refining it and figuring it out and really shaping it. And the last one is improvising. And I've said that word a bunch, but we haven't really put it into practice yet. And that's because improvising is something that you just have to do. To improvise is one of my favorite words. It kind of reminds me of being a teenager when you're getting in trouble and your parents, find out and you're kind of having to think of something on the spot of how to get out of it. Like, that's what improvising is. It's I didn't plan for this to happen. I gotta work my way through it. And I want to encourage you with something. Every time you improvise, after you do it, it's gone. Even the cameraman can't bring that back for me. And he's a nice guy. And if anybody could do it, I know it's him, but he can't do it. It's gone. It's gone forever. So when you make a mistake improvising, congratulations. It can't hurt you again. It's gone. What improvising does is it takes the guitar player into the next level. Somebody tells me they're intermediate, but they don't improvise. I don't believe them because it tells me that they're locked into a plan. I want you to pick this thing up in open D tuning, and man, I just want you to improvise. Take some of those tips and tricks that we learned about the melody and incorporate them into your improvisation. Okay, next we're gonna learn a melody. This is a melody that I think everybody should know how to play, and it's from the song Can't Help Falling in Love, which was made popular by Elvis Presley, but it's quite an old song and one of my favorites. I'm gonna show you the melody first, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with it. Very good. So the melody exists primarily on the first and second strings. And now what we want to do is we want to harmonize it. We want to add harmony to it. And the first way we're going to do that is just by adding a bass note. So here will be all of the bass notes we'll play. The 1, 3, and 6. Now you'll notice that we're not playing the 6 up here, even though that's how we had been doing it in the previous lessons. Well, this is too far away, so what we're going to do is move this note to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. This is also our 6. So we have 1, 3, 6, 4, 3, 5. 6, 4, 1, 5, 1. Okay, now let's combine them. Now I can already feel some of you feeling like this is a little bit above where I feel like I might be. What I'm going to encourage you to do is do the first thing I said. Learn the melody. Get the melody under your fingers. Play it with the right speed, play it with the right rhythm, and slowly start to incorporate the bass notes. Once we've done that, we can then begin to fill out the rest of our arrangement. That's really what this is. This is an arrangement. We're taking the melody, we're taking the chords, and we're smashing them together. And it's not an easy process. It certainly takes time, but it's something that you absolutely can do. I'm going to play an example from the same tune now where I'm going to fill out some of the rest of the notes to make it sound a little more full. Okay, so that's the scale in open D, and that is a very, very good melody in open D. Let's go ahead and take a look at open G and do the same thing. So now we're going to go to open G and we're going to do the same thing. The melody that I'm going to teach you is from a very popular song. I'm certain that you've heard it. It's called You Are My Sunshine. So when I first discovered this song, probably like most of you, I heard it in a lullaby form. And of course, it's beautiful in that way, but it's actually kind of a folksy, rootsy kind of song. And I just think it has a great melody and it really fits open G well. So let's take a look at it. So now I want to incorporate the bass notes and a little bit of picking. We're going to be playing the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. Here it is, slowly. Okay, so that melody in open G is complete. The concept with both tunings is the exact same. Playing a melody, playing a bass note, putting them together gives us an arrangement. Now, if you're a songwriter listening to this, here's the encouragement I want you to take away from it. Writing melodies is something that is integral to writing a good song. If you write a good melody on your guitar and you've always thought to yourself, that would sound so good as a picking part, open tunings allow that to be possible, because what an open tuning can do is give you a really easy way to play a bass note and play a melody simultaneously. So in this exercise, what you could do is you could essentially take a melody that you already know or one you've created and harmonize it, add bass notes to it, add chords to it, fill them out and create your own arrangements. Remember, we're in that 3-tier framework of learning, creating, and improvising. So if you find yourself at any point in this course going, one of those is something I really struggle with, then that's the one you know you need to lean into. And I think these tips and tricks will help you do that. So once again, I love melody. Melody is a part of music that honestly, it speaks to me on the deepest level. And I really hope that you got something out of this module. There are so many great opportunities in open tunings to play melodically, and I really encourage you to lean into that. Throughout the duration of this course, all the modules, we've talked about so many things. We've explored DADGAD, Open D, Open G, techniques, slapping, harmonics, all kinds of crazy stuff. And the reality is we're just really scratching the surface. But I don't want you to forget what I said in the very first video. You are an explorer. You're not a scientist. And I firmly believe that as an explorer, you are going to take all the things we talked about and put them into your playing. Remember, you're not racing anybody. You're not in a rush. If I could encourage you with anything, it's this. Opens belongs to you as much as it belongs to me. You should be able to take opens into your songwriting, your session playing, your live work, or maybe even just your bedroom just for jamming. And you should be able to incorporate it in the way that feels most comfortable to you. I hope you enjoyed this course. I had a lot of fun teaching it. This is one of my favorite things in the world to talk about. And to be honest, I could keep talking all day long. But you got practicing to do, so get to it.